Hello and welcome to Free Your Inner Artist, Dissolve Your Blocks, Access Inspired Creativity, and Ignite the Joy of Your Full Expression. I am Suiko McCall. I'm a painter, the founder of the Art Monastery, and your host. And we're here today with the marvelous Tina. Tina is a holistic counselor specializing in inner mastery, emotional independence, and conscious living. With over 15 years of experience in ancient yoga science and human psychology, she supports women in cultivating clarity, balance, and inner stability. So glad to be here with you, Tina. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yay. So I know that with the clients and students that you work with, as well as anyone who's ever done any kind of creativity, we've all had the experience of the inner critic just really getting in the way. So I wonder if you could speak to how can we stay connected to the muse or to our intuition or to the like juiciness of creative flow and not let the inner critic take over.
All right. So I guess we should first understand who is that inner critic, right? And why do we listen to it all the time? And why do we believe what that voice is telling us, right?
Yeah.
Because if we had like a good friend sitting next to us who would constantly criticize us, we would probably eventually turn away, right? We wouldn't just sit there like a poor victim and listening to all these insults, right?
Yeah.
See, yoga teaches us a fundamental truth. And these are the yoga scriptures, the ancient yoga scriptures, right? Vedanta.
Mm, mm,
It tells us, see, you are actually a soul making a human experience. If you don't like the word soul, you can say you are awareness, you are pure consciousness making a human experience, all right? So in this lifetime, you were born as a human being and you're equipped with instruments, a physical body, right, as your vehicle to move around in this world, and a mind. So the
mm,
mind is an instrument, and the
mm,
inner critic is part of the mind, right? It's that voice you hear in your head. It's not actually something you can touch. So the problem is any other instrument we buy or we have in life, right? It comes with an instructions manual, right? So we know how to use it. The problem with our mind is, see, when we are small, we go to kindergarten, we go to elementary school, college, high school, whatever, university, nobody teaches us how to use our most precious instrument, the mind. And see,
mm.
that would be like, imagine you're born as a little bird, all right? And your mother doesn't teach you how to use your most precious instrument, your wings. You would have a miserable life as a bird. Mm? And the, and
It's
the
true.
same thing happens to us human beings. The thing is, in the yoga scriptures, especially in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Upanishad, they teach us thousands of years ago. There is the instructions manual that teaches us exactly how to use the human mind.
Mm,
It's not comfortable for many, if we all knew how to use our mind, because then we were all happy and we were all healthy. Okay, so it's not comfortable for everyone. So in yoga, okay, yoga scriptures say that all human struggles, and the inner critic is one of these struggles, right? These inner struggles comes from avidya. Avidya in Sanskrit means ignorance, ignorance of our true self, of who we truly are. Mm?
mm,
As soul, we are not from this dimension of nature, of creation, where everything constantly changes, where everything has a beginning and an ending, everything is limited. That is called in yoga prakriti. That is where your body and your mind are part of. But your true self, soul, pure awareness, pure consciousness, that is from another dimension, which is called Purusha in the scriptures. And that is
mm,
unchanging. That is unchanging. It has no beginnings, it has no endings, it is no limited. It is pure intelligence, pure wisdom. All right. And this is your true self. So, but what happens when we grow up? We all, that voice in our head is so loud and nobody teaches us what that voice is, so that we identify with the mind. Okay, and this is where the struggles start. And then obviously we identify also with this inner critic. We believe everything it says. And this is the problem. So for anyone who has never heard about this, it might sound very abstract, okay? But then during the practice, it will become clear, because it's actually very simple. Like everything in life, it's really simple, okay? So we have to understand that we are not the mind. And when we understand we're not the mind, we also understand that we're not the inner critic. And then we understand that we don't have to believe anything what the inner critic says, right? And when we feel that we are consciousness, we are soul, we are complete, and nothing is missing, then there are no doubts, okay? And when there are no doubts, that means the inner critic is quiet, right? We feel complete, and we feel yoga. Yoga, the word means union, okay? That means oneness. That means in every living being, there's a little tiny drop of that consciousness. So beyond these forms, beyond our minds, beyond the differences that are programmed in our minds, we are all one. And that is the fascinating thing of yoga. And you can actually, through yoga practices, you can feel that eventually. But it needs practice, okay? And this is where a lot of people then struggle, because, you know, it's not easy to practice every day, right? So what the yoga scriptures teach us is how the mind works, all right? And it also teaches us where these doubts come from, which are the inner critic. And those are, see, the mind becomes programmed when we are little children, okay? It's like the mind is like an empty heart, empty, like it's memory, like your computer's memory. When you come into this world, it's empty, okay? And then all your circumstances, your surroundings, how your connection and your relationships with your parents or the people you grew up with, they program, okay, certain beliefs about yourself, about the world, about how you should behave, how you should be, okay, into your mind. Problem is that we never do an upgrade. You upgrade your phone, you upgrade your iPad, you upgrade everything. We never upgrade our mind. When we finally understand that we have to make an upgrade, that's what we call a little awakening, okay? Because people read a lot about awakening, enlightenment. Well, what is this? This is when you finally understand, listen, I can reprogram my mind, my instrument. See, and when we are little, and maybe, you know, now I refer to like artists like you, right? For maybe once in school, you were doing like a beautiful painting and somebody criticized you, or somebody laughed about it, okay? Or I don't know, or maybe in your home, right? Maybe your parents were very critical. Okay, so you lost your self-esteem, you lost the trust in yourself, because when you came into the world, you had no doubts that you're perfect. Okay, you cried when you wanted, you laughed when you wanted, you shouted when you wanted, everything you did, you were so convinced that you're great. And then slowly, you know, we shrink. We do this often because it keeps us safe. Okay, see, when we have very critical parents, or when we have parents, you know, that don't give us so much emotional attention, okay, that we always have to fight for love, or that are very, you know, unpredictable, then we start to shrink. And then we start to believe that we are not good enough, okay? And that I'm not good enough, that's the inner critic, okay, talking, right? And this is what stops you, or that always compares you to others, okay? You always think you have to do more, and you didn't come here to become more and to do more. You came here just to be you. Okay, that is the most important thing, right? Like as you were when you came into this world. This is why, you know, yoga is the opposite of our Western education, to become more, to be more, to have more. Yoga is, you know, actually to become again like you came into this world, like a little child, to become like a clean slate, to become nobody. Because when you become nobody, all your beliefs and your ideas, how you should be and what's the best and what's wrong and what's right, are gone. And then you're free, right? And there's no inner critic, okay? So that's the opposite, okay? So it actually makes us happier, right? So when we know what the inner critic is, then we can realize, you know, this old program doesn't serve me anymore, right? Now I'm an adult, okay? I don't need this voice anymore to protect me because my survival doesn't depend on my caregivers anymore, okay? So I can program new beliefs into my mind, okay? And this works, for example, the easiest way are affirmations, simply repeating every single day, I'm enough. Looking in the mirror, I'm enough. Okay, there are a lot of affirmations, and there are a lot of affirmations you can use as creatives, but the basic underlying belief is always I'm not enough. So we have to repeat, I am enough. Okay, this is slowly how we program the mind. And then in yoga, we solve every problem, okay, by looking the problem right into the eye. So when this inner critic pops up, you don't just sit there and listen and let it insult you and criticize and minimize you. You look it in the eye and you say, no, that's not true what you're saying. Okay, it's not true. And I know that I am creative and I believe in my art, and my art is healing for me, and my art is sharing my energy with the world. And if there is only one person out there that appreciates my art, then my mission is completed. That's it. Right? So you have to, this is what awareness means. You have to become aware of that voice. So, and then there is one thing that really changes everything. Now, see, when you sit there with your canvas in front of you and colors, and this voice pops up, this inner critic pops up. Well, you can hear that voice, right? You observe that voice. So now, if you can observe that voice, you can't logically be that voice, because you cannot be the observer and the object of observation at the same time. So who are you? And there starts the self-inquiry. And that is the simple thing. See, this is the logic thing. If I can observe that voice and I call that my mind, then who am I? Well, I'm not that. And if I'm not that, why do I believe everything that says? Okay. And this is why we meditate. Because in meditation, we just sit there and we do nothing. We just observe. And we don't hold on to thoughts. We just let them flow through us. Okay. It's like, you know, when the inner critic comes, it's like a black rain cloud that comes over your head. Okay. So now you can just sit there and wait until you're completely wet and soaked. All right. Or you open your umbrella. Open your umbrella. Observe that voice and notice that you can't be that. And this is why we meditate. So this is how you dissolve the inner critic, simply by using your intellect, okay, knowing, I know where this inner critic comes from. This is what I do with my clients, right? We find out where this inner critic comes from, when it was programmed, how it was programmed. And then once we understand the little pieces like of our life, like puzzles, okay, then it all makes sense. And then we realize we don't need that anymore. This doesn't serve us anymore. It blocks me on my creative journey. And then automatically it dissolves. It doesn't have power. It doesn't have a grip on you anymore. All right. And yoga gives us all the tools, right? Yoga gives us the meditation. Yoga gives us the movements. Yoga gives us the breathing exercises, mudras, finger positions, right? Hand positions, all mantras, right? All to create that flow within us, okay? To let prana, life energy flow through us, to remove anything that is not longer needed, okay? And then your creativity can flow, right? So it's all, and that has been written down thousands of years ago, right? That's the thing.
Totally.
So, yeah. So what I want to do with you today is, you know, first I want to do with you a simple mudra that many of you know, Chin Mudra. But I don't know if you know why we do mudras. See, we have 5 fingers, okay? And as I said before, in Prakriti, in this dimension of existence, right, of nature, where your body and mind are part of, everything is made out of the 5 same elements, even your mind, just more subtle. Your mind, your body, everything is made of 5 elements: fire, air, space, earth, and water. Sometimes when emotions are blocked, okay, or when these old conditionings are stuck in your body, those elements lose their balance, okay? So when we do hand positions, we direct our energy, okay? We can create inner balance. We can really, there is a mudra for anything, okay? So you are not a victim to your emotions. You're not a victim to these inner critic thoughts. Okay, with this, we work on our energy body, okay? Then we do a breathing exercise. Breathing also, it helps us to let go because thoughts and memories and the inner critic, this is energy, right? So we let it go with our breath and we remove anything that blocks the natural flow of energy. And then I also want to introduce you to a mantra, okay? Mantra is repeating certain names, okay? Certain names of the divine, okay? Because we assume that your true self is divine, okay? And it's not a prayer. It is just to invoke what you believe is not there anymore. Okay, so when for creatives, Saraswati is always the divinity you want to chant to because Saraswati represents your natural, innate creativity and clarity and expression. Okay, so because when the mind and the inner critic is so loud, we don't believe that it's there. So we repeat mantras to create that inner frequency to invoke that in us again. And mantra, man in Sanskrit means the mind, and tra means to transcend. Okay, so when we chant a mantra, we want to go beyond the mind, beyond that stupid critic. Okay. So, and then you have like a little complete practice.
Beautiful. Oh, that's so great. I love it. Let's do it.
All right. So, okay. So if you're wearing glasses, you don't have to put your glasses down, but everyone who is participating, I would put the glasses down. All right. And then you just find a comfortable seat. I always sit with my legs crossed, but you might just want to put your feet flat on the ground. Do not, sit with your legs crossed, like like you sit comfortably, all right, with your spine straight. Okay, and then we start with the mudra. See, the thumb, okay, represents our higher self, our true self, soul, awareness. Okay, that what is you, that what is me, that is everyone. All right, that is this higher intelligence. And the index finger, that is the ego and the mind and the inner critic that says, you are not good enough. All right. So we bring these two together. All right. And the other three fingers together. And then we turn our palms up and we just rest the hands on our legs or in our lap. All right. And then see. We just make a little bit of movement. We inhale, arching our back, opening our throat, opening our heart, and then we exhale and we come forward and we bend. And it's like you want to touch your belly button with the tip of your nose. So you really move all your spine. You inhale, come up, and you exhale, go down. And maybe you want to close your eyes now. And you want to really be aware and synchronize your movement exactly with your breath. Where your inhale starts, you start arching your back. Where your exhale starts, you start bending your back. And when you inhale, I exhale. And when you exhale, I inhale. And when you inhale, the whole universe exhales. And when you exhale, the whole universe inhales. So we are all breathing each other. We are connected. Perfect. And then you just keep your eyes closed. And then lengthen your spine. Imagine a little string attached to the top of your head that is pulling you up, like a divine force that is supporting you, that is pulling you up, helping you to sit straight. And when your spine is straight, it is like an antenna that connects you to that ocean of consciousness, to that higher awareness, to that divine awareness. And then you relax your face, especially your eyes, your eyeballs, your cheeks. Relax your tongue and your jaw. And you just stay there. Keep your eyes closed. And I start repeating the mantra. And maybe it is just difficult for you to repeat it. Maybe you can start repeating it after me. Maybe you just want to listen and allow the frequency to flow through you and to invoke your creativity, your expression, your clarity, your ability to flow with life, no matter what life throws at you, and your ability to trust life, to trust that life doesn't make mistakes, even if your mind doesn't like everything life does. Om I Saraswatiye Namaha. Maybe together. Om Saraswatiye Namaha. 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 Just keep your eyes closed. And don't worry if that is the first time you're hearing a mantra. If you don't feel anything, don't worry about anything. Just be. Just be curious. Just be present. Just make an experience. There is no right and there is no wrong. And don't allow your mind to judge. Don't allow your mind to comment on every experience, on every sensation. Just take it exactly as it is. Take it in. Keep your eyes closed, and now we start inhaling through our nose, and when we exhale, we open our mouth and we create a little sound, ha, and we lengthen our exhalation and this sound as long as possible. We inhale through the nose, until no air comes out anymore. And we do that with an intention. We do it with the intention to let go what no longer serves us, like the inner critic, like old beliefs about ourselves, like old fears, like old self-doubts. They don't serve us. They do not benefit us in any way. And we are intelligent beings. We don't want anything that doesn't benefit us. So just start inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth, making this sound, creating this sound vibration. Find your own rhythm. Don't follow me. Follow your path. Follow your rhythm. Follow your inner melody. Inhale through the nose and exhale, creating the sound ha. Just keep going. No doubts, no judgments, no obstacles. Just make an experience, be curious like a little child. Observe the sound vibration in your throat. Observe the sound vibration in your body. And with every ha, you let go. Long exhales also calm your nervous system down. When your nervous system is calm, energy, prana, life force can flow. When life force flows freely, it flows through your spine, it flows through your chakras, your energy centers. It flows also through your second and your third chakra, your centers of creativity and expression. So just activate your human system. This is what you're doing. You're the soul living in this body, learning how to operate your human system from within, creating the pranic flow you need, creating the emotions you need, creating the inner atmosphere you need. This is your superpower. You can't change anything in the external world, but you can change what is happening within you. Do a couple of more deep breaths. Inhale through your nose and lengthen your exhale. And just observe the experience. And then you close your mouth and you just let your breath flow through your nose, through your nostrils. And you have two nostrils that represent the duality of life, because everything in this life, in this creation, is subject to duality, to polarities. Life is change. Life is a dance between birth and death, good and bad, male and female, sun and moon, hot and cold, beginnings and endings, criticism and praise. But you are not from this dimension. You are the silent observer, the pure awareness, the substratum of life. You're like the axis of a wheel, observing the change happening around you in your human body, in your human mind. Your true self is not subject to change. Your true self is like the mantra Om. Always unshakable, unchangeable balance, wisdom, intelligence, bliss, love, expression, creativity, clarity. This is your true self. And you're observing the change, the dance of change, the dance of polarities in your own mind, in your own body and around you. Now practice being the observer. Do not react. Do not engage in any thought that pops up. Do not judge, do not label any sensation. It's just a sensation. It's just a thought. It's not good, it's not bad. It just comes and you let it go. You are the sky. Thoughts and emotions and mental comments are the clouds. Let them just flow by. Do not engage with them. If you keep shining your light, your awareness, your focus onto a thought, onto that inner critic, you nurture it, it will grow, it will stay, it will stick with you. So you do not want to stay with it. Let it flow like you let your breath naturally flow. Your breath comes and goes. And in the same way, naturally allow your thoughts to come and go. Allow that voice in your head, the mind, to come and go. And know that most of the things your mind says are not making any sense. Your mind is constantly recycling all the impressions you have accumulated in this lifetime. Most of it is not useful to you anymore, like your inner critic. All these beliefs you created and you stored in your mind about yourself, they don't need serve you anymore. Today, you're an adult, you're independent, you don't have to prove anything to anyone anymore. You do not have to ever again fight for praise, for attention, or for love anymore. You're simply creating. You allow your creativity to flow through you. You become a vessel for divine expression. And there is no right and wrong. There is no good and bad. That is your expression. There is no talent or talent. You are simply creating. You are simply allowing creativity to flow through you and through your tools and pencils and brushes out of you. Like everything flows in life, like your breath flows. You do not resist, you do not block anything by judgments, by labeling. You just be and you just create. And you creating, that is your expression. That is your energy expressing itself in the physical world, on canvas, on paper, in a sketchbook, in a piece of art you create. There's no right and wrong, no good and bad. This is you, and you came here for a reason. And what you have to share, what you create, has a reason. And it doesn't matter if your mind likes it or not, because you're not the mind. And you know that the human mind is critical. And as more as you observe the mind, you know how your instrument works. And you realize that your mind likes to criticize. Your mind always wants more, better, bigger. Your mind always compares itself with others. And if your mind compares itself or your paintings with someone your mind regards worse than you, then it has a moment of happiness. And if your mind compares your piece of art with someone who your mind regards better, more talented than you, then you have unpleasant emotions. That's simply how your mind works. Let it work. Let it do whatever it wants. You're not the mind. And you don't have to take it seriously. That is the secret to leading a balanced life. Inner stability, inner mastery. When you understand how your instruments work. When you can control your mood, when you can choose your mood, you can choose how you feel. And you simply focus on what you have already created. You focus on how good you are, what you have, what you're able to do. You focus on the joy you have created. You focus on the good feelings you have created. You focus on the good feeling when you finish the painting. You focus on what is possible. And you're grateful for what is possible. That is how you create pleasant emotions. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. So do not ever again focus on that inner critic. It has no benefit at all, and you are an intelligent being. You do not do anything that has no benefits for you, that does not contribute to the quality of your life, of your human experience. And the very fact that you are here alive, that means that you are enough, exactly as you are, and you are loved exactly as you are. And do not ever allow anyone to doubt that. And then slowly you just drop your chin down. Observe for a second just how you feel, how your body feels, your energy feels. How is your inner atmosphere? And if it just feels a little bit better, a little bit more confident, then just know that you did that all by yourself. That is your power. Then you bring the palms of your hands together and you start rubbing your palms. And you create Agni, inner fire, fire of expression, the fire that drives you, that drives your hunger for creating, for painting. And then you put your hands on your face, you close your eyes, and maybe you want to rub your face a little bit, your eyebrows, whatever feels good. And then when you are ready, you come back.
Thank you so much, Tina. Wow. What a journey. Yeah, I feel like cleaned out.
Right?
I feel really spacious and joyful. I feel good.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's it. It's important, because some people, I know have never done this before or never heard about these concepts before. And it sounds
Mm.
strange, right? It's like,
Yeah.
what's all this? Who's this white dressed lady talking about? We're not the mind, blah, blah, blah. It can feel scary, right? Because your
Yeah.
whole idea, okay, that you had about yourself until now crumbles. And that can be
Yeah.
scary, all right? But that is the awakening moment, okay? When you do not believe anymore everything that you thought you were. Because then you don't
Mm.
believe the inner critic anymore.
Yeah.
So that's a start, okay? For
Yeah.
anyone who heard about these things for the first time, be curious because there's so much more to life and there's really so much to learn about your body and about your mind. You can regulate so many things, not only your emotion, okay? You can regulate your health, okay? You can really, you don't need so much medicine, okay? And so much help, you can have trust in yourself and you know how to operate your instruments, okay? That you don't always have to look outside, that you know everything, that all the answers are inside, okay?
Mm.
And that is the bigger goal, okay? The inner critic is one. Once they're done with the inner critic, then there's more.
Oh, that's so great. Yeah, beautiful. It's so empowering. It's really great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. So you have a wonderful gift for us. Will you tell us about that?
All right. So the gift today after this workshop is just, a PDF with everything we did. Okay. It's a little reminder. Okay. So that you can read again through it. And every time when that critic comes up, okay, you remember, I'm just the observer, okay? And I do not have to engage with that voice and I do not have to believe that voice. And then there's the mudra and the breathing exercise and the mantra, okay? And if you get curious about mantra, you can go on YouTube, type in this mantra. And then maybe you start listening to this mantra while you are creating. And maybe before you start creating, you do this little breathing exercise, okay? Or you sit 2 minutes. That is the gift today. So you
Beautiful.
can repeat it because the first time, maybe you
Yeah.
are not making a great experience.
Right.
If you keep doing it again and again and again, and just be curious and have some faith, something that has existed for thousands of years can't be so wrong. So just have some faith in it.
Right. And it seems like it would be so powerful to do this practice right before you do whatever your creativity is. You do it before you
Exactly.
paint or before you write or before you dance, whatever it is. Yeah.
And you can also do the breathing exercise more forceful. If the inner critic
Yeah.
is strong, you don't do this. You do. Ha! Okay.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. So I didn't want to do that today because I didn't want to scare people, but now. But that is actually much more powerful. Okay. Like really like,
Yeah.
ha! Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let it out. And that's helpful in any situation of your life. Okay. When you have like something in you that is like boiling, just go to a quiet corner or go to the bathroom, close the door. Okay. Where nobody sees you, nobody hears you. And you let it out. It's really powerful. Just have to try it.
So great. Yeah. Yes. And then you even have another gift for the Inner Artist Liberation Toolkit. Tell us about that one.
All right. So I offer a 1-year online program that is called the Inner Revolution. Okay. That is all based on the ancient scriptures and modern, a little bit more modern psychology and trauma work and everything. Okay. That is 108 lessons, okay, that give you really a full instructions manual. It explains to you first the concept of spirituality, all right? Then it explains you, according to the scriptures, the 4 departments of your mind. So you don't only observe one inner critic, you observe every department separately, all right? Then it tells you how to deal with all that, okay? And what comes up in the mind. What are emotions? What kind of emotions does a human being have? Where do they come from? How do I change them? What is trauma? Okay, what is this old stuff that, you know, dictates the quality of my life 50 years later? Okay, and how do I get rid of it? And we work on all 5 layers of the human being. Okay, you learn that you're not just the physical body and the mind, you are the physical body, energy body, mind, intellect, and spirit, and how to clear all these layers. Then you really create change, not just by talking. It's not enough. You have to remove this stuff also from your body. Okay,
Mm.
so it is really everything. Okay, it is very simple. Okay, and you get usually, I think you get 2 lessons a week delivered. Okay, you get the transcripts. You can do it on your pace. You have lifelong access. And what I offer to you is like the first module, okay, to a discounted price. And then if you like
Beautiful.
that, you can continue. So
So great.
yeah. And I also have in my links, if you connect with my social media or something, there is always a free 5-day meditation kickstart challenge. Okay, that is really fun and simple, and you don't have to be a guru or need incense or white clothes or whatever. You can, yeah, anyone can do it. So if you just get a little bit curious, okay, there are a lot of things you can choose from.
Yeah, wonderful. Oh,
Yeah.
that's great. Well, I feel like you've given us a beautiful taste of the kind of medicine that you're offering, and
Yeah.
it's really exciting.
Yeah, I also have 2 books that you would love, I think, because they are created with another artist, a friend of mine. Okay, and she created beautiful, beautiful little drawings. Okay, for this book of different yoga postures, and they're very whimsical and detailed and colorful. So just looking at them, they give you a good mood. And artists, I think, would love this because it's very cute.
Oh, that's great. What is that book called?
One book, the bigger one,
Yeah.
it's called Yoga Coaching. Use your practice to resolve emotional baggage and bring harmony into your life and your relationships. That is a bigger book, okay, that explains more about the philosophy of yoga. And Karen, she painted like the yoga asana, the postures. And I explain not how to do the posture, because this is what every teacher teaches you. You can learn this in any yoga studio, okay? But how, while you do these postures, you can
Mm.
actually use them to work on certain emotions, okay? So that your practice becomes more complete, holistic, okay? Deeper, okay? Not just physical work and moving a little bit the energy, because I don't want people who practice yoga on the mat just to feel okay for like half an hour when they leave the studio. And then as soon as they're in traffic or as soon as they see the husband again, you know, the whole drama starts again. So
Right. That is so real.
And
Oh,
the little book is just, sorry, the little book is just a handbook, okay, with the same drawings, all right, the same illustrations. I have to say illustrations. And just, I wrote like little, you know, daily reminders, daily pearls of wisdom that
mm,
can
mm.
help you.
Oh, wonderful. Those do sound really great.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for being part of the summit. It's really
Mm,
wonderful to get to know you
thank
and your
you.
work.
Thank
Yay.
you. Thank you for having me. And good
Great.
luck to
Okay.
everyone and happy creating.
Yay. Yeah, everybody at home. See you next time.